up to another good morning. Time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all
Welcome back to the 3x5 Live podcast. That was my best Jessie impersonation. You guys are stuck with me today. My partner in crime is with a bunch of other momming up at our lake house doing some forest school, teaching the kids about dreams and crickets and things. So, solo episode. It's hard for us to, as you guys can imagine, to coordinate recording these together all the time. We've done a fantastic job of the first 25, number 26. I think this is number 26. Who knows? We missed it. But on this podcast, we discuss mindset, personal growth, diet, productivity, habit change, all those wonderful things. And today, since it's a solo act, I thought I'd try to speak on, which is hard to do without video, but speak on the power of a weekly review. And this is something that I've written about on the social platform of Instagram and done some like just still shots and some descriptions of what I do. But it's been so impactful over, I'd say I've probably been doing it for 5 years. So essentially, at the end of the week, you're bookending the week. On Sundays, you're really reflecting on what happened the previous week. So how I do it, I start out by taking the whole week of cards. So 6-7 cards, laying them out in front of me. And first thing I'll do is I'll kind of go through and read through all the gratitudes, just to kind of like this uplifting activity where I just read what I was grateful for on Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, and so on and so forth. And it just puts me in this positive state of mind. And then I'll go to the win section and I'll kind of review the wins. Like, what were all the big wins for the day? And then for those wins, I'll take, spoiler alert here, we're coming out with a weekly review card. So they're a different color card that you can store in your box. And, so then you put all your, past cards in the box. And then at the end of the week, you're going to have a weekly review. That's kind of like a greenish type color. So on that card, what I'm doing, and before I would do it in a journal, so you can just do this in a journal too, is just kind of highlight of like, what were the big wins for that week? Taking 3, 4, 5 and journaling on them and really seeing and understanding what you did accomplish in that week. I think it's lost what you can accomplish in a week. And if you're not doing this on a weekly basis and really honing in on what was done, what you said you were going to do and what you came through and actually did, there's just so much self-love that happens in that. As long as you get things done, there's lots of self-love. And you're going to forget, like, as you're reviewing your week of cards, on Tuesday, you're like, wow, I did that on Tuesday. I completely forgot. And that was a massive win that happened on Tuesday that if I didn't take this time on Sunday, then I wouldn't have really even remembered that happened. And then what I do is I write what needs work. So what didn't I accomplish? What did I say I was going to do and didn't follow through with? And I use the word not like failure or, there's like a certain like self-love to saying what needs work. So I kind of reflect on what could I have done better and what can I do better next week. So that's the first portion of the weekly review. Then I flip the cards over and I kind of look at all the tasks for the entire week. And I take a card for Monday and any task that needs to be revisited that closed out and then somehow opened up, or it reminds me that task leads to another task, I write those out on Monday's card. So on Sunday, I'm kind of teeing up Monday by like looking at the whole last week of tasks and pulling out some that maybe there's none, but usually there's 3 or 4 or 5 that need to be revisited or that just didn't get accomplished last week that I need to put on Monday's card. And after that activity, then I do still use like kind of like a paper journal that it's more for like note taking when I'm on phone calls and whatnot, something to scribble in. But I also take that and at the top of one piece of paper, or every week there's a left and right hand side of the book. So on the left hand side, This is where I write down all the stuff I'm about to explain. Then on the right-hand side is where I just take random notes. But on the left-hand side, I write down all my goals for the year. Like I have 6 goals for this year, and every week I'm writing those down. I'm writing down my 6 goals for the week. So I'll say the week of September 20th, and then I'll write down my goals or my big yearly goals. And then if there's some of those I did accomplish, I actually write them and I cross them out. And it feels so good to cross out those goals. Like one of the goals this year, like you guys that listen to this podcast regularly know I ran the Trans Rockies 6-day 120-mile run. So that was a goal this year. So I still write that at the top of the sheet, and then I cross it out because I accomplished it. And then underneath there, I do basically makes 3 sections, like a work section, a personal section, and then a fitness section. And then I'm writing like, what's my BHAG, my WIG, like wildly important goal, big, hairy, audacious goal for that week for each one of those. So what's my big one for 3x5 life? What's my big goal for actually the other business that I run, which is a sales agency? What's my big goal that week in that arena? Then what's my big like personal goal that week with the family or whatnot? And then what's my fitness goal that week? So I write that down under like the WIG section. And then my MINs, so my most important next steps. So if that's my goal, what's my most important next step? What do I got to do next to accomplish that goal this week? And then I have another column where it's just like, when am I going to do that? So Sunday, I'm scheduling, when am I going to do that WIG, wildly important goal? So I'm looking at my week. I'm kind of just seeing what obligations I have, what meetings I have, if I'm traveling. So it's just like, okay, if this is what I say that is super important for me to do this, accomplish this week, when am I going to do it? So that's where I schedule that wildly important goal. And then there's my last column is obstacles. So what's going to get in the way of me accomplishing that goal? There was a bunch of calls that I knew I had to make, and I just knew like getting trapped in emails and all these incoming calls was going to stop me from accomplishing one of my goals this week. So it's just like, all right, when that's happening, I got to turn off email. I got to silence my phone and really dive in, because I know I'm going to get distracted. So writing out your obstacles that's going to stop you from accomplishing that goal almost like nips it in the butt before it comes up, because you already wrote it out. You already said this was going to be an obstacle. So now you have no excuse to not accomplish it, because your mind is prepped knowing that that could be an obstacle. So that's what I do every single week. So just a quick recap is I run through the gratitude in the beginning. So this happens every Sunday. It takes about 30 minutes. So I'm running through my gratitude for the week. I'm running through my wins for the week. I'm rewriting those powerful wins for the week and kind of journaling on them to really be like, yes, that's like me. And then I'm going through all my tasks that I wrote down on all my different cards for the week and just kind of categorizing, seeing if any loose ends weren't buttoned up, writing anything that wasn't buttoned up on Monday's card. And then I do this kind of like goal, most important next step, my MINs, when am I going to do it, and obstacles. And I can try to embed a picture of this. I'll see if we can do that, embed a picture of what that looks like, so everybody can get a snapshot. Oh, and then also I'm rewriting my yearly goals every Sunday as well. So I cannot stress enough how powerful this is and how much it has just elevated and changed my life and made me so much more intentional doing this every single Sunday. Again, it takes 30 minutes, but when I game plan, when I miss, like, my week is not nearly as productive when I miss this like Sunday power session. And the power of reflection, we do not do enough in our society, and kind of celebrating what you did accomplish instead of just being critical of what you didn't accomplish is just such a great habit to get into. So I hope you got something out of this podcast. Hopefully next week, Jessie's here, because she is way more insightful than me, and she asks great questions when I ramble on like this. So till next week, enjoy.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go.